your connection in Southern Oregon and Northern California. This is News 10 at 5.
Good evening, I'm Trish Close.
I'm Rick Tillery. Thanks for joining us tonight. We're learning more about the standoff at the Oregon Youth Authority that had SWAT teams on scene in riot gear.
Superintendent there says 11 kids were able to take over a living unit and an employee was forced to barricade themselves inside. State troopers, public safety officers, and firefighters were all on scene when it happened around 8 o'clock last night. Standoff lasted until the early hours of this morning. Mobile command unit was set up and officers in riot gear went in. When they came out, Youth Authority reported it was all over and everyone was safe.
And tonight's top story of 5 News 10's Caitlin Conrad shows us the concerns being raised by both the facility and from parents of inmates.
Monday morning, all was quiet at the Oregon Youth Authority after a 5-hour standoff kept employees there all night.
11 youth refused to comply with some directives and became unruly and started damaging property inside.
Jerin is the Oregon Youth Authority's superintendent. He says when the kids got out of hand Sunday night, staff were forced to exit one of the living facilities.
Staff were able to leave the area, the unit. One staff was unable to and barricaded himself in a control room within the center of the unit.
The standoff would then continue for several hours until Oregon State troopers in riot gear went in. Jerin says when it was all over, no one was hurt, but some of the facility was damaged. He says 11 of the 20 offenders in the cell block were involved, but can't comment on what crimes they're convicted of.
This was a younger youth, 17 and younger.
The prison houses children from all around Oregon, some of them as young as 12.
At its capacity, there can be up to 107 inmates here. The Oregon Youth Authority taking in some of the state's worst young offenders. Those criminals can be as old as 24.
At this point, it's not confirmed if the employee was a hostage or if this was a riot, but the whole thing is making parents nervous.
I'm worried for his safety because he's not a violent child, not any way at all.
One mother we spoke to lives in Salem, and her son is getting ready to head to the facility this week.
I was really upset because I keep thinking about the kids that are in there that have done, really terrible things. And his biggest thing is that he just hasn't completed the stuff that he was supposed to do.
The incident is still under investigation, and there are a lot of questions still unanswered. But for now, leaders say everything is under control.
Ken has a very calm leadership style, and I think that was a great benefit to the situation.
Covering your news in Grants Pass, Caitlin Conrad, News 10.
Guards at that facility are not allowed to carry guns or tasers, so no weapons should have been in the building when the standoff started.